back in Wave 3 Listens Live. I'm Michael Vanover, joined again by all the fun folks at Elder Advisors. And when I say fun, I mean...
And there's an attorney
of course, there's an attorney, Steve Langdon, at the end, who also always brings the fun. Talking about a lot of stuff off air, Larry, that I find to be interesting. The list of reasons to call Elder Advisors seems to be pretty robust.
Right.
What would be, what's the chance of a loss here? Why not call
Well, the other question you were asking on the break was, what's my favorite jewelry? Blue sapphire ring.
I did not ask
2022.
I did not ask.
But you did. But the other part of that is, for most people, people are in a state of denial. Their windows could be broken. Well, I think we can get another year of windows before we have to replace it.
Right.
And it's the same with mom and dad. I think we can keep this together. Mm-hmm. When most people, I think, realize it has now hit them is when they get an invoice from the care facility for $15,000.
Yeah.
And when they write the check, now it hits them. Because so many people right now are, well, Dad just went in, he's in rehab, so we've got 100 days. And I'll just turn that over to Lindsay. What's the reality?
There is not 100. So traditionally, Medicare would offer 100 days. A traditional Medicare product, there's all kinds of replacements floating around, but a traditional Medicare boasts that they'll pay 100 days in skilled nursing. But to get a 100-day benefit is just nearly unheard of. They have to continue to progress in therapy, and it's very, very, it takes into consideration how they're actually doing, how your loved one's doing. So it is not wise, in my opinion, to count on 100 days of a Medicare benefit because it's just unheard of.
Yeah, about 20 days.
20.
Well, and Lindsay, you were talking earlier, too, about, having the loved ones enjoy the rest of their lives and just taking that pressure off of not only the kids, but of the parents.
Yes.
And can you talk about that and making sure that they're enjoying their last, several years, right? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, and that's why another choice to be here at Elder Advisors, and Larry said, I think in the last segment, I'm living, I'm not existing.
Living, I'm not existing.
And, I have a deeply personal passion for living life to its very fullest, having the highest quality of life possible, and that is available for these seniors and the elderly in our community. And it just takes a little planning, it takes a little bit of family involvement, and really avoiding the crisis. If you can just avoid the crisis, you can really, really enjoy your time together, and individually and together as a family. And I think that's really important, and that's what we can help with. If you call Elder Advisors, that's what we can help with, is helping you and your loved ones live the best, highest quality of life possible.
She's good.
That's what we're here for.
She's the best. I'm very thrilled. I'm very blessed that Lindsay's joined Elder Advisors and works with me.
That's right, no doubt. Steve, you were talking earlier about finding benefits for families, right? Things that maybe they didn't realize were there, and it could be a large sum of money. But one of the things that I want you to elaborate on, if you don't mind, is protecting the assets that they already have. I don't want to say forget about those benefits, because of course those benefits are really important, but protecting what they do have and what they've accumulated over their life.
Right. If you do some pre-planning, oftentimes we're going to be able to protect almost everything that you have. But if it's if we got a crisis situation, we got a married couple, so long as one of the spouses is still at home, we're going to protect 99 to 100% of what they have. So that's everything.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. Yeah. And we're going to get that spouse that needs the health care that they deserve. We're going to get that spouse that health care, which is probably the equivalent of about $100,000 a year benefit. So we can save what they have and get that spouse $100,000 a year benefit.
And it seems like an easy phone call to make.
That's and that's the hardest thing. We got the New Year's coming up.
Right.
We got New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
Everybody puts this off.
That's right.
You really need to take that time, make the phone call, and sit down. We may sit down for 15 minutes. We may sit down for an hour.
That segues perfectly to what I was going to ask Larry. It's December the 20th. New Year's resolutions are happening right now. People are thinking the new year. Why now? Because there's still time, right?
Yeah. I will tell you, November and December traditionally are extremely busy, certainly for placement. Autumn Schneider's our placement angel with placement. It's probably as difficult as it's ever been for all kinds of reasons. It's very hard for placement to find families the right niche that they want for their neighborhood and stuff. So Autumn is always working on that. But to step back to what Steve was saying, is for us to be as successful as we are, we really do need the right attorney. And that's why I don't really think Denny Crane's a fit here. I think Steve Langdon, who continues to be our Denny, I'm still going yachting with you over the holidays. But in any event, Denny Crane's got a huge boat, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah, down in the Bahamas. So, but anyway, Steve makes it work because he gets out of the law office, for goodness sakes. He meets families. He takes banks on, he'll fight and argue with the banks when they don't like the power of attorney and all this legal nuance and stuff. Because you've got to have an attorney that knows where the courthouse is not afraid to fight for families, whether it's in state and federal court, both sides of the river. You need that skill set if you're going to protect all the assets for husband and wife, or half the assets for a single person. You need to have the attorney to backstop that. Steve has shown elder advisors for years now that he does have that for families, because if I'm going to refer a client to Steve on the legal part, I need to know it's going to get done right. Steve always comes through. Always.
That's right. Before we let you go, you work with the best. There's no doubt, and they put up with you sometimes. Like,
I know.
Right,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
Freeworkshop.com, right? The dates are already out for January, right?
Yeah, and the whole year,
Okay,
actually.
for the whole year. Okay,
Freeworkshop.com. It'll solve all of your problems. Just go to freeworkshop.com, or for the benefit of people who want to call, 855-LARRY55 as well.
Thank you all
Merry
so much.
Christmas.
Make it a resolution.
That's right.
Do it. We
New
want to
Year's
see you in
resolutions. Do it now.
2022.
That's right. All right. We'll be right back on Wave 3 Listens Live. Stay with us.